Okay, I'm just waiting for that to pop up. According to my Zoom, it should be recording now, so it's on.
Okay. Okay. I gotta read that Zoom information. All right, there. Karen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of that the Zoom information that we read in the at the
Yeah, it's
beginning?
in the beginning of the,
I have it here if you need me to read it.
All right, I'm gonna ask you to just
usually in the
read that for
beginning
me.
of the meeting notice.
Yeah, Dave, can you just read the Zoom disclaimer?
If I have to write one, due to the increasing concerns surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting will be held remotely with no physical meeting location. Those seeking to provide public input should do so using the methods listed below. Video and audio of the meeting will be aired on Comcast Local TV 9 at a later date. A live recording of the meeting will be available on the Town of Dayton YouTube channel, which can be accessed using www.youtube.com/Town of Dayton. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I got 7:04 p.m. So we'll officially call the meeting to order. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and justice for all.
for all.
And please be seated. Let's do a quick roll call. And the best way to do it is I believe you mute everyone and or unmute or whatever it is. But I'm going to start out with Timothy Rhines is excused. Robert Woods.
Here.
Dave Eckerson.
Yep.
Bill
Here.
Pruitt.
Yep.
Adele Collar. I don't think Adele's on,
No.
so she'll be absent. James Didge is excused. I believe he does conservation. And I didn't hear from him, but Dave Marvell.
Yeah.
And we have a guest. Are you representing the historical?
I am Pat Gales.
Oh, Pat's here. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Hi, Pat. I
Hi.
didn't see you. I know Pat's here representing the historical, and we're going to get you right on there right as soon as we can.
That's fine.
Is there anybody I missed out there?
Now, there's somebody in the waiting room trying to get in.
Oh, there
Okay.
is. Thank you. I got one person. Let me bring them in. Thank you, Tom.
That was actually Woody. Thanks, Wood.
Okay, he's joining now. Is Leonard Hall trying to come on?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hi, Leonard. Can you hear us? He's connected to audio.
Okay. All right. So our main thing as far as guests will be Pat. I'll wait till he gets on there.
Leonard, can you let us know when you're on, sir? Hi, Leonard. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you for letting me in. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. All right, we're going to turn it back over to the chairman.
Hi, Lenny. Welcome to the CPC meeting.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right. So our scheduled appointments, to start off with, and I think I'll just start with the Historical Commission. And she has some interesting news, some really good news for us. I'm just going to turn it over to Pat Gales.
I'm really happy to let you know that we were awarded the grant from the Mass Historical Commission that we applied for the survey and planning. The purpose is to hire a preservation consultant to update and document our oldest historic resources. So we're really excited about this. I was quite pleased the other day when I got it. I was like, yes, all the work we put in really paid off. So as you know, we're asking the CPC for the full amount of $25,000. Once the project is completed in June of 2022, the $12,500 will be reimbursed back to us. So that's the excitement. That's the news. Can I answer any questions?
Okay, well, let's just open it up for the members if they have any questions. Okay. And we just want to move it along with you so you can, we're not going to hold you up all night.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're real happy. We're happy for you. I got the news today, got a phone call, and everything looks good. So now I'll open it up to the members if they have any questions for you.
Okay.
This is my first time by myself, so I'm doing it better. It's going pretty good. I want to get it done before something happens to the camera or something. All right, let's open up the floor. Anybody got anything for our first guest?
It's on my tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, did you get all that? The children
That
are
might
in
be-
support.
I don't know. Yeah.
Only something really totally I did that on my tongue.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Jackie.
All right. Does
Anyway,
anybody have?
I'll speak. See, no one's gonna say anything. I'll say something. Pat, congratulations on your grant. We're so happy that you got that. And we're gonna, hold up our end of the bargain. And we'll
Okay,
go
great.
forward at the annual town meeting.
Okay. I guess we'll have to work on the wording for the warrant and all of that. So I'm available for whatever needs to be done.
Okay, well, Tim is a crackerjack at wording for annual town meeting, so, and I spoke with Tim today. He was very excited that you got your grant.
Yeah, good.
Right, I don't know if you heard from him at all, but he was very happy.
Okay, no, I haven't heard from him, but that's great. We
Yeah,
appreciate the support.
yeah, and we are gonna
And,
support this 100%.
Okay, thanks, Woody.
You're welcome.
Very good. And I just want to say a few things. We do have, I think there's some paperwork that has to be done.
Okay.
And we just need 2 copies of it, whatever. I've never seen it, but I guess there's 2 copies of the same thing that you have to write up, and it has to be submitted to the town hall. And because of COVID, I don't know when they're going to open up exactly, but we thought that if you had to, you could drop it in the Dropbox. And then the whoever collects the Dropbox can put it in our mailbox.
All right, just let me know.
Apparently
what I
you're
need to
familiar
do.
with you're familiar with what I'm talking about. These forms that Tim had talked about it earlier when this thing was coming down. And then we're going to sit down before the town meeting and, like I say, get that wording squared away and everything.
Okay,
I don't think you're going to have, I can't predict, but I don't think this should have plenty of, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. I think the people know,
Yeah.
the people of town know it's a good deal, it's something good.
right. And our history in Dayton's very important to our little town, and it's significant, and we really want to honor that. And that's what the whole purpose is.
And we're happy, we really are happy for you.
Great, thank you.
So with that,
So you guys will be in touch with forms and all of that, what I need to do.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
actually, Tim couldn't be here tonight, but we did talk today, and we're gonna sit down and get together and include our financial guy, Mr. Eckerson. And we're gonna write up something and, the appropriate language and everything,
Okay.
so it's good. And then I guess that's about it. I think
Can we vote on that maybe?
I was just gonna, I'm gonna vote on it. Yeah, that was my next step. Is anyone else got anything to say? We're all set. Somebody make a motion to vote this thing through here. So when I'm gonna have to ask for someone to make a motion, then I'll have someone second it. And then we'll vote.
I'll make a motion to approve the funding for the Dayton Historical Committee.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second the motion. That's from Dave Marble.
Okay. And we'll do a roll. Is there any further discussion? I don't think so. I don't hear, there wasn't a lot. But Mr. Woods, thanks for your input. Also, so we'll do a roll call vote, as we usually do on these. There's no further discussion, so we'll call individual roll. Let's start off with Mr. Woods.
Aye.
Dave Eckerson,
Aye.
Bill Pruitt,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and myself, I vote aye, Tom Berkwin. Is there anyone I missed? Okay. It sounds to me that the members present, it is unanimous. So we'll note that in the record. And that's where we're at. So we'll move forward with that, and congratulations.
Oh, great. Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. We appreciate your support.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll be in touch with you. Bye. Okay, next is, I'm gonna give a little report. The vice chairman is excused, so the chairman, I do have just a couple of things. Down the road here, before the next meeting, we're gonna get together with Tim. I'm gonna have myself and the financial person, who is Mr. Eckerson. We're gonna get together. We're gonna go over all the ins and outs of these 10, 10, and 10. We're gonna put together our little administrative budget, get everything lined up, and go over all these forms for the payroll, all this stuff that with many, Tim's been doing it for a long time, so it's hard to get someone to fill the shoes, but he doesn't want to do it anymore, and he wanted somebody to do it, so we're trying to get it squared away. And so we're going to get together before the next meeting, the small group of the 3 people I mentioned, and we're going to work on all this, get all this stuff firmed up. Dave is already doing a really good job with the financials. He's picked up on it really good, because sometimes the 10, 10, and 10 is confusing even for people that are in the accounting, until you get used to what it's really simple, but somehow it gets confusing. So that's all going to be squared away. We're going to work on, the other thing is, we're going to work on the trying to get our own Zoom account. Right now, the town doesn't want us to move on our own with it, but we can afford it. But it would be simpler if we had our own account. Tim had reached out and was just told to leave it the way it is right now. So I will be approaching and we talked about this earlier. We talked about it with Tim when he tried to do it before. And I think our technical guy, Dave, would agree that it would be much easier to have our own account. And then, so I'm going to talk to the town administrator. I'm going to make an appointment when I can. He's busy right now, but I'm going to get in on his schedule so I can ask him about it directly. And then he can go from there with it. The other thing was, right now, as far as the job description, I'm just gonna cover it now. The job description for Karen, right now, we're trying to gather more information. We don't really know. She knows what she has to do and it's working well. And we just have to make sure that we get her payroll signed and then, stuff like that. And if she needs, I'm gonna let you speak about it. And if she needs supplies, like sometimes you need ink and paper. I use my own stuff, and I don't ask for a reimbursement. But
Well,
when when you're doing that kind of work, you can, yeah.
Yes, and I do, and I've been giving it to Tim, but he puts it
Yeah.
on a special form. There are certain things that I do need to know about as far as what kind of forms need to be filled out for the
Yeah.
reimbursement. Also, I want to make a statement as if you get together with Dave and yourself and Tim,
Yeah.
that may consider it being a meeting, and that meeting will need to be
yeah.
posted. Anything
There
of a
might be a
decisions or
violation of
anything going on has to be
Yeah, it might be
posted.
well, actually, you might be right. That could be an open meeting law violation.
Right.
But we'll look at that before we do something like that. That wasn't my idea.
Yeah, I just
want you to know
wanted to
that
bring
wasn't
that
my
up to keep
idea.
in mind.
Yeah. So we'll look at that. If we have to do it officially on the Zoom, on camera, we'll do it that way. We were just trying to figure out some things because I'm still gathering some information on nobody seems to know what your job description is.
No, I don't know what it is either.
Yeah, so that makes it fine,
I mean, I have no problem like setting up the Zooms if you give me the proper information that needs to be done.
Yeah, what happened was this time with the Zoom, we were all lined up to go with the planning board and then conservation needed it. So this came from the selectman's office account tonight. And it happened so quick that it didn't even go to you.
Yeah, okay. I had no clue.
And I'm trying to communicate with emails with you. I think we're doing a better job and, it's flowing, And if you sometimes you lose connectivity and we're going to have a plan in place. Like if we lose you, we'll take notes somehow. And Dave offered to run the show as far as the technical. So it would free me up for my first solo flight with this thing.
Okay.
It seems to be flowing. The other thing is as far as we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is Tim is excused. There'll be no vice chairman report. So could I please ask for the financial report? That was just a little update from me. That's all that is. So I'm going to turn it over to Dave, Mr. Eckerson, and he can do the financials.
All right, and I'm going to do here is share the screen, and it was working before the meeting, so we'll see if it will do.
Yeah,
we did it. All right, and here it comes.
It's beautiful.
And which one do we want? Hold on.
That special one.
This is the one.
The long one, right? The one that don't fit. There it is. There you go.
So, all right. I made a lot of effort to get it to fit, and maybe if you can open up your window really wide, it will fit. Right. So this is there are a number of reports we get from Chris LaViolette, but this is the one that is most significant for us. So I just like to cover this. And by the way, Tom, do you send the reports to everyone on the committee or just to me?
Well, Norm, can you hear me?
Yep. Yes.
Yes. If I have them in time, I got them at the last minute. Now, if I have it in time, you're the main guy that I got to send it to. But okay. I will try to I can send it to everybody. It's not a big deal, but I just thought as long as you have it, because he apologized if you got the email. He said, I'm sorry I was tardy with this. And I was told I had to tell him a week ahead of time. I wasn't even going to get it. Well, that wasn't correct. So I did get it and I shipped it off to you. But I can send it out to all the members.
All right. Well,
it's not a big deal.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Right.
No
So
problem.
what this report records is the balances in our various, pre-allocated funds. So it tells us not just how much is in the kitty total, but also the individual allocations, which we have been uh, assigning amounts to according to the rules, the 10-10-10 rules. And so what has changed since last month is basically three things happened. It looks like the first one, and by the way, can you see my little arrow, my cursor?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So I'm putting it under the actual revenue received for fiscal year 21, 122,790. So that figure is new and is added to our totals. The second thing that happened is down here. And what has happened here is that the transaction regarding the agricultural preservation restriction on the Elm Street land has actually happened. So it doesn't really change anything because that was already planned and accounted for in our balances. But now what's happened is that the encumbrance is gone and the cash is gone. So the net change is zero, but the transaction is complete. We won't see that anymore. And finally, the third thing that happened was an expenditure of $1,800, which I know I should remember because we voted on it, but I could not identify it from the other documents. It was only identified by a town account number. So maybe someone could refresh our memory on what that was. So that's incorporated in this.
Oh,
here.
I think I know what,
Yeah.
I think I know what that was.
Right. So go ahead, Tom, if you remember.
Was that the thing for the Arugio farm thing?
No, the $83,000 was for the
Yeah,
Arujo.
yeah.
That
The
was the
83,000 is for the Arugio farm. I'm talking about the 1,800. There's another 1,800.
Yeah,
that
the,
was
the
spent.
1,800, I believe, went to the coalition,
Okay.
Oh, the dues.
right? Because
Yeah.
they increased their dues this year,
Yeah, they went way up. Yeah,
right?
Okay. So that was an
that's
expenditure
probably the
out of our
dues.
general
Thanks,
fund.
Woody.
What I'm here for, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
All right. So to get over
I
to the
think it is
bottom,
the dues,
yeah.
yeah. All right.
So to get over to the total here, so our total is this green number right here. And as you can see, it's increased from the previous total by the amount of the revenue coming in minus the $1,800 that was spent. So that's the change month over month. What we have actually, and so what the rest of this is this is the actual cash in the till, but some of that has been already committed. 136,281 for the Lincoln Village electrical panel project,
Mhm.
62,500 for the playground, and 50,000 for the town landing project. So with that, already recorded, the actual total balance is down here 764. And if we want to know which categories that falls into, we have to look back over here. And what's actually, we really can't look back over here just yet because as I understand it, these amounts here that I'm highlighting, those are the 10-10-10 for last year. And that really has
Yeah,
really
that's,
kind of
yeah, that hasn't,
wrapped up. So
the
to
way it
speak.
was explained to me was it doesn't change
Yeah.
that much. And then once we get together and figure this all out, then it'll change. But the other thing to remind the public and everybody else that this all goes through the town accountant. It all comes down. This is all, like triple checked by him before we get it. And we work with it. And just remember, everything has to go to a town meeting to be approved. And then we have a small amount of a budget that we work on to pay Karen's salary and then like professional, technical stuff like that. So that's all public information also. So basically all this stuff is always being watched over by the town accountant. So we don't really, you know what I'm saying? We technically don't handle any cash in a sense, you know what I mean? So, and everything has to go to a town meeting to be approved.
I got a question if I may, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
And this is towards Dave and maybe to the group, because I'm still new when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
What happens to the 62,000 for the playground if it doesn't get voted or anything? Do we still keep that
I would
account going or?
I'm assuming, I don't know, I could find out. It must stay in the kitty, I guess. I'm not sure. I can check with the town accountant. You know, I'll ask Tim when I see him. I mean, Woody, you got any ideas on that one?
Yeah, it's probably gonna go back to the park and rec line. What category
Open.
would that come out of?
Open space?
Yeah, open space and recreation. That's where it
Mhm.
came from. Okay, just like that other $50,000 that's sitting there at the boat ramp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Board of Selectmen have been negotiating a deal with the property owner.
long time.
And originally they wanted $50,000, and that's why we allocated $50,000. But now all of a sudden, you know, the family decided they want more money. So
Yep.
now the Board of Selectmen are negotiating with them, and as long as the board is negotiating, they can't tell us anything. So if they want more than $50,000, I don't know where the town's gonna get the rest of the money. They're
Well,
gonna
that
have to
way,
come back and beg us or ask us nicely, and we'll have to consider it.
yeah, but my
Um,
thought would be, Woody, I don't know if you would agree, but couldn't they go back to capital improvement? Their capital.
Oh, they
improvement
could,
account?
they could, and they should, if you ask me, because that's a capital outlay project. But you know, we do have money and it's for a good cause, so we're gonna have to wait to see how the negotiation goes. But they're gonna have to come back and someone else is gonna have to present this to us and ask for more money if that's what they're looking for. And then,
Woody,
of course, we'd have to approve it.
So Woody, another question, can we push that playground as a warrant, or we have to wait until their findings are over?
Yeah, I mean, that playground whole thing got squashed. So in my opinion, we should take that $62,000 and put it back where it came from.
Yeah, I just feel bad because I know a lot of people wanted it to go through, but we had an ADA person who, you know, all of a sudden put a halt to everything. So,
Well, now the guy who's running for playground is also on the ADA commission, and I spoke with him and he's under the impression he can get this playground a lot cheaper. He's gonna get grants. He's gonna do a lot of stuff, so.
well,
God
that's
bless
the
him, is
case.
what I
Let him
think.
go. Yeah, I agree. Let him go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that plays out.
We got plenty of money in the kitty, so we don't really need to move it around. We'll just keep it in limbo for a while.
Okay, sounds good to me.
It's tight. It's gonna be a close watch, you know, it's gonna have to go through this organization. Anything else on that, Dave?
Any other questions?
Leonard Hall just had put a chat out to you guys. Do you see that?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, with screen sharing, I can't. Oh, wait a minute, maybe I can.
I can't see it. Something popped up, but it left.
Leonard, do you want to say something?
You want to comment on it?
Here we go.
Yes, actually, I do have a question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
And the question in the chat was, how do you determine the budget breakdown for each line item? I noticed at the top, you have 195,000
Oh, yeah.
reserve encumbrances and the
Yeah,
budget,
it's,
open
ahead, I'm sorry.
space, historic resources.
yeah.
Right.
That's what,
I could try to answer that maybe if you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, so the 195,000 there. Well, first of all, we have our categories, which are determined by the law governing the CPCs,
Okay.
which is the undesignated and unreserved is one. The open space, historic resources, and community housing. Those are our buckets. And we're required to allocate certain amounts to those three categories, the open space, historic, and community housing. It doesn't mean we're limited to those amounts, but we can, if we want to spend more on those, we take it from the undesignated. So this document, however, is reflecting a lot of history that's already gone by. So what the 195,000 represents is money that's kind of in the bank account, but we already committed it based on previous town meeting warrant articles. And so when you add up this column here, it comes to nothing, neither adds nor takes away from our total balance. This balance reserve for expenditure, now in the world of accounting, an expenditure and an encumbrance are different. Don't ask me what the difference is technically, but what that's saying is that we also have 136,281 set aside for the Lincoln Village project. And someday we're going to have to write that check to cover the cost of the electrical panels there. And then we get over to the interesting ones here, which is the three specific categories: open space, historic resources, and community housing. And these are the actual amounts down here at the bottom that are in those categories now, based on an estimated amount of our 10-10-10 numbers from last year and whatever else was left in there before.
Okay.
And you can see how we paid for Lincoln Village by seeing that we decided to take nearly our entire balance out of the community housing account, and we took another amount out of the undesignated fund, totaled up to that, and that's how we paid for Lincoln Village.
No, thank you very much.
Actually, Mr. Hall, once you get it took us a while, I mean, to figure it out, but I mean, it does all somehow make sense. It's just, if you've never seen it before, it looks kind of complicated. Does anyone have any other comments or questions on the financial?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Hall.
All right.
But for the record, Mr. Hull, this is not a slush fund for the Board of Selectmen.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I see some possibilities here for some wonderful things, especially in the area of open space.
Yes, Mr. Woods is kind of the overseer of the slush fund, as it were. It's not a slush fund. He just wants to make it clear because pretty much that's how I understand. I think we all kind of feel that way, that we want to use this money for projects that are benefit all the people of the town and not just a place for people to come and raid the coffers for whatever reason. I'm not saying anybody's name and I'm not saying anybody does that, but
Yeah.
I've only been here 8 years, but in this town, but Woody's got a lot of history here and he's kind of like knows a lot of what's going on and he's puts in a lot of good input for us. So that's why that's how it is. You know what I mean? That's all.
It's enough, Tom.
Yeah, I know. So anyhow.
Want me to stop sharing the screen there, Mr. Chairman?
I would, if you're all set with it, David.
All right.
Thank you, Dave. That was outstanding report too. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
All right, we'll get this figured out.
Yeah, I
Greg,
like
I'll,
that now.
Great job. Really, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time on that, Dave.
It's nice that you can put it on the screen and
Yep.
excellent. Okay, so the other thing I want to segue into, we have to accept this report, I believe. Somebody want to make a motion to accept this report?
I'll make a motion to accept the financial report as presented.
Is there a
The
second?
motion?
David, okay. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we'll vote. By roll again, Mr. Woods,
Aye.
Mr. Eckerson.
Aye.
Mr. Pruitt.
Aye.
Let's see, who else have I got out there? Holy goodish, I had it in front of me. Dave Eckerson. Who am I missing out there?
Dave Marvel?
Oh, Dave.
Aye.
You're right in front of me. And myself, I'll vote aye. Because we got a few people missing. So it's all those who voted, all members present. It's a unanimous vote to accept as presented. Okay, the next thing I'd like to move on to, and it kind of relates to and then I got one last thing after that. the signatories, people that sign the checks, the pay the bills, when I started, they brought me in and I was the financial guy, and then I got out of it. We went down to one signature, which was fine. As long as the members know who the signatory is, as long as the members are aware of how we're doing it. I personally, if we used to have two people, but when I did it with Tim, it used to be sometimes logistically, it just made it harder. So we just had one signatory, one person doing a signature. So, and it was aware, the bodies, as long as the body knows who it is and how many people do it. Now, I don't have a problem with that because I think we can oversee the financials. But if somebody's out of town and we have to pay Karen, or a bill has to be paid, I'm just wondering if we should go back to the two signatures. Any thoughts?
So you need
We can
somebody for a
have-
backup.
Yeah, we can have one. It's approved. The accountant told me. You can have one, you can have two, you can have as many as you want, but then that gets crazy. But I'd say if you have two, you always got a backup. But then again, I mean, because if something happens to that one guy and stuff she's not getting paid, the bills aren't getting paid. I mean, if something needs to be signed, there's things that have to be signed. Sometimes it has to be the chairman and sometimes it should be the financial guy. So I don't know if we should go back to the old traditional thing where the chairman and the financial guy are the signatories. Go back to two. I'm just throwing it out there. I want to see what the body thinks. Do they want to go back to two like we did when I started, or do we want to go back down to just one?
What do you mean by logistical issues there, Tom? Two of you.
In other words, what happened was I'd have to meet him at the town hall to sign my name on everything that he did, that Tim did. I'd have to meet him at town hall to sign my signature, and he was trying to get the work done, and then I was trying to get there, and you know what I mean? It's just a matter of getting together. You need two physical signatures. So if you have one signatory, it just makes it easier, but it all puts it all on that one guy. And if that one guy's not around, or lady, whoever we are, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking maybe we ought to go back to two.
Could it be one and just a backup? Would that work? Or
Can
no?
you just have one
Yeah, you can have
and
one.
then use the back?
I'm sorry, Karen, what? We lost her.
Okay, who's doing the signing now? You, Tommy?
No, right now, we just put it on the chairman. I mean, I haven't taken over yet as far as the financials, because we haven't done the form yet. We just haven't done it, but I could.
I agree with you. I think two people are better, just in case somebody's
Yeah,
not around.
yeah. My suggestion was, it's traditionally the chairman. It doesn't matter who the chairman is. It was traditionally the chairman and the financial officer, which is Dave. And then you have two signatures, and that way everything that goes out, there's two signatures.
I don't mind doing it, certainly.
No, I'd ask you if you would mind.
Oh, yeah. So Tom, you're saying it's either or?
No,
or
it's both.
both
We'd
required?
have to have both, I would think.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not chasing two signatures.
Yeah, I think it's
Well, no.
either or.
But I mean,
One
I'm
signature.
sorry,
will do-
Karen. But I mean, I'm wondering, I'm just trying to get some feedback on it. I'm not gonna,
Mr. Chair, why don't we do this? I think where Karen's trying to say, can we just have one signature and one backup? Will that take care of it?
well, that's what I'm gonna, if that's all
Instead of
right.
having two.
Yeah, if that's all right with the accountant, but I mean,
I'm
That's-
sure that's okay with the accountant, Tommy.
yeah, I mean, with Mr. Woods, if the body knows what we're doing, it should be all right, right?
Right. Because I sign the bills sometimes for the sewer commission, sometimes
Right.
Tom Ferry signs them, sometimes the chairman signs them. It's like whoever's available when the bills are
Okay.
ready.
Okay,
So it's not like if you have two signatures
it has
Both
to be two.
signed,
Yeah.
no,
Okay,
just
so
one.
as long
One
as the
backup.
body,
But they need to know who is gonna be doing
yeah,
the
that's
sign.
what I mean,
So
yeah.
we have to designate that.
And my thought was, go back to the traditional way, and then you can have a backup, but.
So
and
let's
I
go
was-
with 2 and move on.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask Dave if he would mind doing it, that's all.
Good. If, it's gonna be
You're
healthy,
okay with it?
Yep, sure.
All right, so there we go. So what I'd like to do is, if we could, if there's no more discussion, let's vote on it. So someone needs to make a motion in regards to this, and then we'll have to get someone to second it, and then we'll vote.
So Tom, are we saying, as I'm saying to the board right now, we having one senator and Dave would be the backup, or is there going to be 2? I just want to be.
If it's easier to have the one guy with the backup, that's fine.
Okay, we have to present it that way and we can vote on it. That'd be good.
So, but what I'm thinking is, as long as it's in that wording that way, then I think we're covered, Mr. Woods.
And you don't
correctly.
really have to call it a backup guy. You
Yeah.
can just say,
It's the signatory.
right.
Yeah.
And I'll make a motion right now that the chairman and our financial officer, Dave Eckerson, are authorized to sign the bills for the Community Preservation Committee.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any other discussion or about it, or seeing it? Is anyone else got any input on it? Seeing or hearing none, let's go for the vote. Mr. Woods,
Aye.
Mr. Eckerson,
All right.
Dave Marvell,
Aye.
Mr. Pruitt,
Aye.
and myself, aye, Tom Berkman. And I think that's everybody, right? Yes, because we have a few people missing. All right, that's good. I'm sorry it took so long to get
No.
through that. And I didn't miss anybody, right, Dave, my technical man?
Yeah, I think you got everybody. You're good.
Okay, the other thing is, okay, one more thing. Now, I got a suggestion which came in while between meetings, and it was just an idea to kick around. It's not anything you got to vote on, but do you guys remember the Herring Run project idea that was brought up in the past? Okay, so I got some input from Tim Rhines and Mr. Woods, and they thought that'd be a good, and I think we've talked about that it would be a good idea. Anyhow, but
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
I can't really say that I'm familiar with that 100%.
Okay. What I'll do is I have a gentleman that's part of our group that's very familiar with it. And I would ask him if he could share some background on it, just a brief, Mr. Woods.
Sure.
According to conservation, I think they have all the money set aside for this project, is what I've been told. So I don't think they're gonna need to come to us for any money.
Oh,
But if they do, I can talk a little bit about it. There is a herring run on Brook Street that's been there forever and a day. And I guess it was in the early 90s, we had a real bad flood and it destroyed the actual herring run that's in place there, which prevents the herring from getting up into the Segregansett River. In the early 90s, I sponsored a Boy Scout who, with the help of Bernie Miranda and his construction company, to rebuild it to the best they could.
I remember you talking, yeah.
Yeah, when that storm came along, it just moved these concrete blocks that weighs thousands of pounds. I couldn't not believe the water moved that, but it did. But what needs to go in there now is like the same one they put on Lincoln Avenue. It's like it's a baffle system, they call it. And it's made out of like aluminum or steel. And it needs to be done right. You know, when the Boy Scout did it, they did a really good job, but you know, it wasn't a perfect job. And for some reason, if conservation does not have that kind of money, it is a great project to do. And I'm sure we would support it. I know I would myself. But as far as I know, conservation already has money set aside for this, so
Oh, okay.
I'd
I
love
didn't
to
know
see that project go forward because everybody knows I'm a big fisherman and I love
Yeah,
herring and, you know, it's a big thing.
and the other thing is, it's a good thing for the people. It benefits the whole town.
Just some of the details I'd like to know. For instance, is this a dam involved in this?
There is a dam a little bit further north of that herring run.
Okay. Now,
And-
does someone own this property?
It used to be owned by Montauk, I think, Electric.
Well, the Somerset Water Department has all the water
Something, I
rights
don't
there.
know, yeah.
And they control the dam. They control the flow of the water.
Do they have to be on board with this in order for this to happen? Somerset or?
I don't think so. I mean, when we did it in the first time, we never contacted the town of Somerset. The Department of Marine Fisheries is involved and there has to be a permit pulled. But it's a, when I was a little kid, I used to go there and catch smelts with my father at night. First full moon in March, the smelts would come up the river there. And everybody in Dayton used to go there and catch the smelts. One scoop, you'd have a whole bucket full.
Wow.
So if I wanted to go look at that or whatever, how would I get there?
You know where the bridge is on Brook Street?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can either walk up that little road and you'll see a path that goes into the woods to the left. Or you can go, as soon as you go over the bridge, you'll see a house on the left. A guy named Mo Joyce lives there.
Okay.
And there's like a little parking area, kind of, it's been overgrown a little bit, right on the right, over the bridge. And there's a little path that'll take you right to that washed up dam.
Wow.
It's a really nice piece of property, and we actually paid for that with CPC money last year. I don't know if you remember that at town meeting, but we voted to buy that piece of land. So, you know, the CPC did buy that property.
Wow. Okay. Sounds good.
Woody, could I ask a question there? Is this dam that thing been back there with the canoe? The kind of metal lattice work thing that's kind of in disrepair. Is that that's what the herring run is trying to clear? That first?
You talking about the 3 Mile River?
Oh yeah, I'm on the wrong river. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you're on the wrong river, but do you know exactly what that little metal thing looks like on the 3 Mile River?
Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm on the right river. Segregated River here?
Yep, the Segregated River. You go underneath on Brook Street.
Yeah.
You can only go up so far with a canoe. You ain't gonna make it up to the dam all the way in the back.
I've been that far. It was brutal.
Yeah, I'm sure it was brutal. If you made it up there, you're a good man.
And my kids lifted it up over the dam for me, and then we kept going.
Right. Over that first little dam with the rocks and the concrete.
Okay, and the second
then
dam
we'll
too.
take you to the bigger dam.
So are we talking about the first dam or the bigger dam?
The first dam.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the ladder needs to go. Because believe it or not, the heron never went over that other dam. They would go up there to some shallow water and they would lay their eggs right there.
Hey, Woody, I got a question for you.
It was a big heron run back in the day.
Go ahead, Dave.
Is that the same heron run? Like I walked the bird sanctuary. If you're walking down to the falls, so you get down to the old buildings in Dayton, they have a heron run down there. Is that the same principle? Where it's like a slope that goes down?
Yep.
You've seen that, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is that a heron run too?
Yes, it is. Right.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And that's brand new.
Yeah, brand new. Yep.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else on that? It just sounds like a really good idea. I didn't know about conservation having the money already.
That's what I've been told. But if not,
Yeah.
great project.
That's a good one. Anybody else have any ideas they want to kick around before we move on to the next adventure here? Anybody got any other thing? All right, I'm sure in June, I believe, things start flowing again. We start taking applications again in June, and maybe some stuff will come in. We'll see what happens. The other thing is looking at my thing here. I think that's pretty much, oh, we do have to approve the minutes from the last meeting. And set our, we have to set the next meeting, stuff like that. But is there anything new anybody wants to talk about? Everything's good? Okay. Karen? Was that the little guy? Somebody in there. Okay, so just before we approve the minutes, we'll set the next meeting. So Karen, that would be on the what, the 15th of April? Third Thursday, right?
Karen, are you with us?
Karen?
Let me look at my calendar.
Should be the third Thursday.
The 16th.
Yep, that's what I have.
April?
April 16th. No,
That's a
April
Friday.
15th. April 15th.
Yeah, 15th.
I
All
got,
right, well,
yeah,
it's gonna
April
be-
15th.
All right, you got it?
7 o'clock? Okay.
All right. Do we vote on that? No, we just said it. Okay. I wasn't sure on if we had to vote that in, but we know that it's automatically that it's always, unless there's a holiday or something happens, correct? It might be moved,
Right.
but as long as people are notified. The other thing is, let's approve the minutes. Somebody make a motion to approve the minutes from the last. Karen, you just have one.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 21st meeting.
Do we have all the minutes that we have to approve? That we're approving January?
Well, that's the minutes I'm looking at that Karen sent us.
Karen, are we that behind on the minutes?
Karen's muted.
Well, if we're approving January,
I keep losing you.
if
all
we're
right.
approving, Woody says it says January, are we
Yeah,
behind on
so
our
I'm
minutes?
just, I haven't,
Oh,
the February was not able to send through, but I did the January.
okay. So we need February, okay, so we're just a
And
little
we are
behind.
in March now.
All right, so we'll do the January for now.
We need a second on that motion.
Yeah, second from Woody's motion on the January.
I'll second.
It didn't come through on my thing. All those in favor, any discussion on that? Any further discussion? We'll try to get those caught up. And then if there's no further seeing or hearing none, we'll vote. Woody, Mr. Woods,
Aye.
keep calling you Woody. Dave Marvell,
Aye.
Mr. Eckerson,
Aye.
Mr. Pruitt,
Aye.
and myself, Tom Berkman, aye. And that's that. And if there's no, Lenny, you're still on board? Did Lenny leave?
No, he's still with us.
Yes, I am still here.
All right,
Thank
Lenny, I have public input before, and I threw a little public input at the end before adjournment. Is there anyone else from the public? If you want to say anything, you've got some public input time.
The only question that I have is regards to in June, you do applications.
Yeah.
Is that open to the public? Say if they had an open space?
Yeah.
And they would get how would they go about that? Would they get a form through you or through the town?
Yeah,
hall?
we get a form from Karen, or Karen has them, or,
Yep.
and then even an individual. Go ahead, Karen.
It's an application for eligibility, and that can become website, the town's website.
Town website, okay.
Thank you very much.
And if I could add, I understood that you could actually, a person, even an individual person that had an idea can submit an application. Correct me if I'm wrong, so.
Yeah, it's all on the website
Yeah,
and,
Thanks.
you have to make a certain number of copies of different things, and it's all pretty self-explanatory. But anybody or any group can ask for funding. Whether or
Which is
not we
the-
approve it, that's a different
Yeah.
story, but
But it's nice. Yeah, it's nice that you have that. Yeah. And everybody contributes. I mean, basically, everybody contributes from their taxes, their real estate or something. There's some kind of formula. But that's another thing. If you want to know more information about the CPC, you can go on the website and you can get some information if you want to do your own little curiosity search. Whoa, my bird. So then what happens if you, and anytime you have questions, drop us a line, send us an email. We'll try to answer them.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, sir. Good luck
Thank you. Thank you very much.
in your future endeavors. And also, if we have anything else, if there's anything else that we have to talk about, get it out now, and then that's it. We're gonna go to adjournment. If anybody's got it, sounds like some kind of bird going wild over there. All right, are you out in the woods? Woody? So anyhow,
Awesome view.
what's that? Somebody's out there. All right, so I can't understand. Dave's laughing.
Tom, you did pretty good tonight, Tom. You did, but you did
Yeah,
okay.
it's a lot
You
better.
did okay.
It was a lot better.
Would you like me to make a motion to adjourn? Is everybody
last
ready for
time.
that?
Better than the last time. Yeah. If I would like to entertain if somebody wants to make a motion to adjourn.
Super.
Super.
Tom, could you call me after the meeting? Because I would like to talk to you.
No problem.
All right. Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And we have a motion to adjourn in a second. And the time would be 7:59. And I'm going to call the roll real quick. Mr. Woods,
Aye.
Mr. Eckerson,
All right.
Mr. Marvell,
Aye.
Mr. Pruitt,
Aye.
and myself, Tom Berkwin. And thank everybody. Thank you, Mr. Woods. Thank you, Mr. Eckerson, and Dave for all the technical support with I actually stayed on camera the whole time.
You
It was
did
amazing.
you did very well.
And I was a little nervous, but I mean, I had a lot of people gave me reinforcement because, sooner or later you gotta do it, So
It won't be your first rodeo anymore.
no, it's
Get
not. It
used
won't
to
be the last. I've been on some crazy committees and commissions in this town, and man, I'm learning every day. But at least I'm listening, and I do listen to the advice. And sometimes sometimes you gotta listen because somebody's probably right. But at the time, you're like, oh my God, are you serious? So anyhow, so I thank you, Karen, for your work.
Yep, you're
We'll try
welcome.
we'll try to stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
And just
I'll-
thanks
yeah.
everybody. Did Mr. Hall drop off?
No, he's still with us.
All right, Mr. Hall, once again, thanks for coming on board, and I'm glad you're interested in our CPC.
Thank you
And,
very much. I'm very interested. I
All
appreciate
right,
you
that's,
having me.
yeah, I
Thank
know.
you.
I kind of got an idea why. I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't
Yep.
get too we can't get too political here. So
Oh,
then,
good.
what else?
Sure, I smell that mouse.
I just hope I
You
just
did
hope
good,
that,
Tom. Let's adjourn. Good
yeah.
night,
chief.
everyone.
All right, good night. Everybody have a nice week and
Everybody.
stay
Thanks,
safe.
everybody. Woody, I'll call you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
guys.
night.
Thank you.
Good night, Karen. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, little John, or whatever it used to be.
Good night, John boy.